On behalf of Aleph Book Company, I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you to the launch of a very special book, Swimmer Among the Stars by KanishkTharoor. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Taking the evening forward, I'd now like to request Kanishk and Arunava to kindly come up and take their seats, please. The two gentlemen, of course, need no introduction, but nevertheless, I'd like to invite Simar Puneet, Senior Commissioning Editor, Aleph Book Company, to kindly introduce them.
Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. It's my pleasure to be introducing these two fine gentlemen. KanishkTharoor, whose book we are celebrating tonight, is a writer based in New York City. His journalism, criticism, and short stories have appeared in international and Indian publications. His short fiction was nominated for a National Magazine Award. He studied at Yale, Columbia, and at New York University, where he had a fellowship in the creative writing program. Arunava Sinha translates classic, modern, and contemporary Bengali fiction and non-fiction into English. Over 30 of his translations have been published so far. He has been shortlisted for and won numerous awards for his translations. And now, after the mandatory book unveiling, it's over to you both.
Great. Are you going to do this?
Should we just...
Yes, of course. Is this strict packaging? I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, we have to beat me to it. So congratulations, Kanishk. Your book is now officially out there.
It is. It's been a real pleasure to be here in the last few weeks. It's also a pleasure to be in Delhi, in the presence of so many dear family and friends. The last few weeks, as you may know, have been a bit of a whirlwind for me because not only has my first book come out, I was married as well in the last few weeks, and my wife is sitting in the audience. So
really,
it's been a
congratulations to both of you.
It's been a very exciting.
Which is more exciting, the wedding or
in deference to my wife, I'll say the wedding.
Right answer. So I don't know about you, but I'm certainly nervous with this audience.
Well, thankfully, most of them, at least everybody in the front row, is family, so I'm feeling very comfortable.
Yes. Is family usually kinder or harsher when it comes to critiquing your work?
Well, actually, when I wrote these stories, when I complete a first draft of a story, my first screen is my parents, my twin brother Ishan, who, as many of you may know, is a journalist and writer himself, and my wife.
Is he an identical twin?
We are very similar looking fraternal twins, but we are not identical.
But you wrote the stories, you're sure?
I did.
Yeah. I believe you. So, Haruki Murakami says that he knew he was going to be a writer when somebody made a catch in a baseball match. He used to run his bar before that. He went to watch a game and somebody hit the ball out to left field and somebody else jumped up and took a catch. At that moment, he knew he was going to be a writer. So that's Murakami, of course. But did you have such a moment in your life when you knew you were going to be a writer?
Well, Eduardo Galeano, the Uruguayan writer, says that he became a writer because he couldn't play football. He couldn't play football at a professional level, which I suppose is somewhat similar. I always knew that I was writing and reading was something that I wanted to make part of my life from a very, very young age. I had the great privilege of being raised in a family of of readers and writers. My mother is a professor of literature. My father, as you know, has written many books. So, and you know, beyond my parents, my entire family actually boasts many literary ambitions and successes. We have in the audience Mr. Haksar, who's a Hindi Haksar, my Shilmamu, who is a very distinguished writer and translator in his own right. So for me, you know, always growing up, writing was something that didn't seem like an unrealistic ambition or unnatural thing to do. It was actually quite an obvious thing to do. And so I was writing stories for fun, and quite silly stories from a very young age, you know, 6 or 7. When I was writing them, I wasn't imagining myself like some kind of, you know, I wasn't dreaming of a Nobel Prize. I just did it because it was something I really enjoyed doing. So I think, you know, one of my first stories was called Sir Kanishk and the Magic Lamp. And you can imagine what the plot of that was. But, you know, but these were things that just came out of me naturally, much in the same way that these stories did.
So we'll come to these stories, but I want to check something with you. Are you sure you're 31?
Do you think I'm older or younger?
Yeah, older. Because, you know, I really, and for those of you who haven't yet read these stories, the first thing perhaps that will strike you, and that struck me as I was reading them, is that it's an incredibly wise voice. Not only a very well-read and well-versed in many aspects of knowledge, but also extremely wise and very kind as a result. And how have you developed this maturity that clearly is far ahead of your chronological years? You're supposed to be a rebel at this age.
I mean, maybe by being a long-suffering younger twin brother.